Hello, this is Sabrina Taro 808 with a presentation of a new tarot deck which just came uh, out fresh from the oven. This is a limited edition, and as you can see from the video, this is to raise funds for service dogs. And I've been following the artist, which I found on Tarot Nerds in a Facebook group. And this took about 5 years to be completed, and in the sense like many other tarot decks that are made. And of course, if you think about it, each of the 78 cards are always a painting, and this one especially, this is handmade. They're all watercolors, and all the dogs in this deck are real dogs, which their owners are service dogs, which their owners commission to have in one of the tarot cards, and included the dog from the artist. And so it is a labor of love, and I've been waiting for this deck for 5 years, and I finally have it. And actually, the day that I received it wasn't the happiest day. But regardless of, and that's what dogs are, they're with us regardless of what's going on in our lives. And of course, I have my beautiful pooch. I'm going to show you which one. I have several dogs, but I'm going to show you the one that is like my, which is actually not that I commissioned for her to be here, but it's the same dog. It's her. It's Destiny. And she's more like my familiar pet. So I'm going to go through the deck telling you what each of the cards means, in case you're just looking at this as an art piece, or if you want to go through the tarot. There's a thunderstorm on the back. But I wonder how much of the thunder is going to show up, but it's okay. We're going to make it part of the video. I'm going to go through each of the cards, saying what they represent and how the artist has used the concept on each of the cards. So for the Fool is about taking a leap of faith, of following your bliss. This is a good card that shows that. Now, because he's on a cliff and he's not looking where he's going, that could also signal you have to be careful on watch your step. But as well, sometimes it means, depending on the other cards, that you actually need to take a leap of faith on something and not be too cautious, overly cautious. This other card was one of the other cards that I saw since the beginning when I first fell in love with this style and the artist and the concept. I love the color and the name in the color form. I think is so lovely. This one is the Magician. The Magician, this card for me, or this dog, or his temperament I would relate it to a dog that is able to manifest on his owners what he wants. He's able to let them know in a happy, cheerful way that he wants to go outside and play, or very communicative dog, or a dog that makes things happen, just like the Magician. The Magician is a manifester. He knows how to use his tools in order to manifest what he needs. The High Priestess. Now, this is my dog. My dog's name is Petunia. She's here with me, being very quiet and behaving like a good girl. But she's a gray poodle, and it looks just like her. Now, the High Priestess, she has a knowledge of hidden knowledge. She knows about the occult. She knows the secrets of the universe. And if you look at her eyes, she's kind of looking at you like she knows something you don't know. And she's in a way cautious as well. But the High Priestess is also that inner knowledge, or going within and finding that intuition inside yourself. The Empress. This dog probably is such an adoring dog, full of heart, super sunny. I love the use of light here, even that it's a watercolor. I think the art is superb. And this looks to me like such a loving dog, like a large poodle that you can just hug, and she always knows we're not having a good time, and she knows exactly when you need her paw on your shoulder. um, Empress is about abundance, but it's specifically because of the theme of this deck. For me, it feels very nurturing. This would be a very sweet and nurturing dog. And of course, being an empress, she would also take good care of her family. She wouldn't let any stranger come near them or harm them. Or even if she senses that someone is treating the owner or the family in a kind of way, she's going to put limits. The emperor, he looks like a Maltese, or maybe he's a mix of a Maltese and a poodle, maybe a multi-poodle. I believe that the artist is going to issue later on the book with the guidebook with all the details of each of the dogs, because as I said, these are actually real dogs, real service dogs that people had commissioned for them to be in this beautiful theme deck. There goes the lightning again. So the emperor, he's the king of his dominion by his poise. He knows he's the king of the house, he's the emperor, but he's also the emperor in a very sweet way, in a nice commanding way, in a very regal way. Because if you're the emperor and you know you have power, you don't need to overdo it. This is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about rules and laws and tradition. So this would be like a dog that is a really, really good boy. He follows the rules. He's very obedient. He kind of intuitively knows how to be a good boy. It's such a nice deck, and I love, as I said, the use of the light. The lovers, they look like very shy. This one looks like it's not with him, but he's feeling some sort of way. And this is like the dreamy. This is probably the male, and this is the female. She's got like this dreamy eyes, and they're like, should I get closer? Shouldn't I? Very lovers kind of energy. Very puppy love. Definitely puppy love, and the sun looks beautiful. Here we have the chariot being pulled by those hairless cats. I don't know their names, but it's very nice and dreamy. It's this is a terrier, which makes me think that probably he's got a lot of sumis. That all of a sudden he starts running all around the house when he's very happy, when he's very joyful, or maybe when he's a bit stressed. Because that's a chariot. Sometimes you move in forward in to a direction with a direction in mind, and sometimes you just run in circles without any direction at all with the chariot, which is like the negative part of it. Strength, and the lion here. For me, it feels like the dog it's a serious dog. He takes his job very seriously. But he's also very compassionate. He probably seems like a bit aloof and all, but he's got a sweet heart, and probably is excellent at protecting his owner and in being comforting. He might be like a dog from a veteran as well. There's such a nice energy of this dog. I wonder if it's that's actually what he does. But it's very nice. The strength is about having compassionate strength. It's about not forcing your will, but helping out in a way where, yes, you are kind of directing the energy to a more harmonious level, but in the process you have to do it in a sweet and compassionate way, taking into consideration that you're doing like a dance with the other person or the situation that you're moving around, because it must be done in a sweet and compassionate way as one would approach a wild animal. The hermit is about finding yet the light within. It's about going within. It's about time of meditation. It's such a nice dog, such a nice white lab. It's probably he could be like a guide dog for a person because of the cane. I was thinking for a person that is that is blind, possibly. They help them find the light within, And that's also what the hermit is, finding that universal light of going within and finding the answers. And but of course, the the unbalanced side of the hermit, of course, is an excess of being a hermit. It's about balance, all of the cards, of course. This is such a nice, or maybe this dog is hiking, maybe. The Wheel of Fortune is about changes, and the life is ever changing. I'm not sure what the story is with this dog and the snake. Snake being knowledge, and it has all the fire, water, earth, and air. But it's an interesting representation of changes. The hangman, the hanging dog having fun. He looks at things from a different way. I guess it's also a calling not to take things too seriously, or not to take waiting time too seriously. I think that's a great advice for me and for a lot of people. This is Justice. It's such a funny dog. Kind of looks like it's judging you. And a bit of a judgmental dog. Like, hey, did you behave well? Are you eating more donuts than you should when you open the fridge? Very nice dog. Justice. Maybe he's the kind of dog that when he sees his siblings fighting, he gets in the middle and puts them in each on their corner. Justice, of course, is balancing the scales and taking decisions and doing and taking the right decisions, waiting things out. Death kind of looks like a representation of walking through the valley of death. I will not fear. And of course, death is, the card is always, it's a constant, and so is the tarot cards, that there's always a dying and a rebirthing in so many different ways, including for our soul when our body leaves, when our soul leaves our body. Temperance, it's about a good balance. So this would be a good balanced dog, or a dog that both equally likes to be in the ponds as much as he likes to be in the mountains. I love the rainbow in the background. Maybe he's a dog that helps out with people that are about to pass away, or maybe this dog, I hope not. Well, we're all going to pass away. I don't think that's why it's there. Anyways, it's a beautiful representation. I wonder what it means and what this dog does in his real life as a support dog. This is the devil with all the leashes, the tie you down to your vices. Your vices maybe being a bit petty or vain or too egotistical, or just my way, or maybe even deceiving, that they come and they want to, they ask you to pet them, and then they kind of bite you because they get mad. The devil, of course, is liberating ourselves from from the things that are hindering our growth. The Tower with this Doberman, making this, what is the name of this game? The Jenga tower. Yeah, I guess that's a great lesson. There's a moment when the tower is going to fall, but it's all about building it again. The game never ends. The Star, which is about hope, is about destiny, it's about blessings, it's about second winds, it's about the light at the end of hardship. Very, very nice card. The Moon is about things that are hidden, and this one I like that they have a wolf, like the original tarot deck, and a dog on the other side, because it's the moon card. It's a calling if one wants to tame their instincts like the dog has, or if you're gonna let them run wild like the wolf. So it's a period of time where you're making that kind of judgment, or sometimes where you just you're not able to plan ahead like the wolf. You just have the things that are happening in your life are still obscure, and you're just gonna have to play it by ear like the wolf. Sometimes life is not able to let you have an accommodated life in the suburbs where everything's taken care of, where you know Wednesday is the food with chicken and Thursday is the food with fish, and that you get raspberries and blueberries in the summer, because this is a Californian dog that lives next to Sprouts and has hippie parents. So that kind of life. He knows that everything's going to be all right all the time, at least for this one. He knows what's going to happen every single day, while the wolf has to scavenge, has to hunt, has to live day by day. So it's a trade-off. Sometimes the routine, that you know exactly what's going to happen and you have everything taken care of, and being free as a wolf, and living the life. Each of them have, of course, each of those lives, the tame life or the wildlife, they have their highlights and their drawbacks, of course. The sun, I had a familiar, because I can't say he was just a pet or just a dog. He was my familiar, Coco. A rescued Maltese that showed up in my neighborhood, and he was total sunshine. I loved it when I saw this deck, because my two familiars showed up, Petunia as the high priestess and Coco as the sun. He passed away already, but he's always in my heart, and this is such a nice sunny card. The sun is the happiest card in the whole deck, of innocence, of joy, of bliss, of also finding the joy in the small little things, which is a great lesson that dogs give us. Judgment, hearing your calling, or having to make a judgment. This just feels to me like you're calling or whoever's seeing this, our calling is to go live at the beach and be as happy as a beach dog. That's the calling here, of course. The world is about completion, is about finalizing karmic lessons, or becoming the best, like getting the award for being the best in whatever you do, or things that just feel like they fit together and they're very complementary as well. Victory and success is the world card. And then I'm gonna do the other cards on the rest of the deck on another video, so that I won't make this one as long, and because also each of these cards are worth taking them a good look at. The artist actually sold back to many of the owners of each of the dogs a painting, if they wanted, of the dogs, like a larger painting they could put in a frame. As I said, each of these cards has been made as a painting, and I love the concept, I love the art, I love how colorful they are, and this is a limited edition, so you should go to their website, the Barkana Tarot, and if you want to purchase them, because it's supposed to be limited edition. I don't think there's many out there left. Okay, so blessings, and I hope to do the other video pretty soon so that you can see all the rest of the cards.